Good morning, all of my lovelies. It's Melissa from the Turtle Nail Salon. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to take a crack at this whole vlogging thing. I have never done a vlog before. I have in the past filmed to spend the days with me, which could also really be very similar to what this ends up being, and I'm okay with that. So I've got a few things I want to do today around the house, which you're more than welcome to hang around with me and watch what I'm doing. You most definitely don't have to if vlogs are not really your style. Just scroll on to another video on my page. I am okay with that. I have this, I kind of call it like a get ready area for doing like my hair and makeup, and I'll put a picture, I don't know, somewhere in one of the corners of what it looks like. And I use it most mornings, mostly just for doing my hair. Some days it's hair and makeup, and some days it's yesterday's hairdo, I'm not gonna lie. I find that it gathers dust super easy just because of the color that I picked, which I really didn't think that through. It's kind of like a brownie black wood grain, and there's such fine dust in my salon that it just floats right over and gathers, and yeah, it just drives me bonkers. Anyways, yeah, so I will clean that off, which obviously involves removing all of my makeup off of it, brushes, the whole 9 yards, and I'll vacuum that. And then on the weekend, and I filmed this, I worked on my Alex drawer unit that I have by my nail table that holds all of my essentials and daily use items. So that turned out really well because I had shelf liner in there and it was sliding around all the time. So I decided to just use some tape and tape it down in place. And so far that has worked wonderfully. Yeah, my second Alex drawer unit is the 5-drawer unit. The one that I have with all of my essentials is the 6-drawer unit. And my 5-drawer unit, I don't really clean it that often because I'm also barely in it. All it has is my overstock items, extra wipes, extra buffers, files, all that jazz, or things that I don't use regularly. And we have a gas burning fireplace in our living room, which is where my salon is located. And I clean that very regularly, but there's a mantle over top that I've got just some picture frames on and whatnot, and it needs dusting oh so badly. It has not been a priority at all. The priorities that I do take care of as far as cleaning goes is making sure that the flooring is swept every day in the house and that the bathroom is clean. So toilet, countertop, making sure there's like water everywhere, making sure there isn't Louise hair everywhere, because that stuff flies in the air like fairy dust, let me tell you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I do what I can because I struggle with chronic illness, and I'm not ashamed by any means to admit that, because it's not like I made myself sick, it's just in my genetics with my family. So, yeah, so on days where I have a little bit more energy, which is today, I try and do a little bit of extra cleaning, and on the days where I have not as much energy, or if I just want to conserve energy, I'll do as many tasks as I can in my task chair and just roll around the living room doing, or I guess technically the salon, doing whatever needs to be done instead of squatting or sitting on the floor, and because that's also uncomfortable. Yeah, I think that's all I have to do, but I did film Friday, so a few days ago, switching over my tabletop teaser rack from St. Patrick's theme to spring theme, and that turned out really nice. I just love how all the colors flow together. So I think I already have that posted up on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and watch that video if you like. I don't think there's much else. I did a whole bunch of filming last week and the week before, and when I took a staycation, and it didn't take me long to actually film the content. It's just getting it together how I want it and editing it, and I don't like to make super long videos. I have a very short attention span, so unless it's like a really riveting video or something I have been like wanting to see, chances are if your video is like dragging on a little bit, I'm just gonna keep scrolling because my brain just like wanders off into la la land. So I try and keep my videos like short and sweet and to the point. Obviously this will not be one of those videos because I've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to put into here, but that's okay. So I do have videos currently uploaded up until I think May the 4th, maybe a few days later. And for the most part, my videos go public every 4 days. The odd time you'll see a video go up every 2 days, and that's more so if the content is of a sensitive nature. For example, I like to put my holiday or special occasion videos up close to a month before the actual occasion, just because it gives people a chance to get ideas or look at them, watch them, recreate them, whatever they choose to do. And I guess I'll give you guys an update on Miss Louise. I haven't really talked about her on my channel in a long time. I think it's been almost a year. So we adopted her. She is a permanent part of our family, and we initially had hopes for her that we would be able to owner train her as a service dog. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. She did really well the first, I don't know, 5 months we had her, because we got her November 2019. And then when the pandemic hit, we stopped going places, and I think that really negatively affected her and her training, because she wasn't getting that public exposure like she was before. When I used to take her, she would always just be so excited to go and do public service training. Her ears were like flopping around when she was walking. It was almost like she was prancing like a pony. But yeah, it just ended up not working out, unfortunately. And I found that out when I had a new client that came, and I'll just kind of back the story up a little bit here. I know I've talked about anxiety brain on my channel before, and my anxiety brain, every time I took her and did training, even though when she would do amazing, my anxiety brain was like, oh my god, she did terrible, she's gonna fail, she sucks, you know? So anyways, so this new client came, and we had, I actually think I had the car that day, so I went and picked up my husband downtown at work, and I usually bring Louise with me because she just likes the car ride. So we pulled up in the driveway, and then she was waiting. I think it was like across the street, I don't know. Anyways, I came inside, I was already set up for her service, and when she came in, she's like, so what's going on with your dog? Because I had a little, not like a card, but just a small laminated sign on our door. That just said, service dog in training, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Because a lot of people think because a service dog is so well behaved that they can literally play with them, and you can't. That service dog is there for that person for whatever reason they need them, and they are always working, always. So do not ever disturb or distract a service dog. So anyways, I just said, oh, she's just a little, you know, like bananas, because anytime someone approaches our property or crosses the property line, like our driveway, she just goes like batshit crazy. So yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what her deal is, but yeah. And she's like, you know, I used to have my own company. I was a service dog trainer. I was like, oh really? So her and I like chit-chatted and whatnot. And then later on, my husband brought her out, brought Louise out into the salon living room, and she just like kind of stood there and watched Louise for a little bit, and she's like, you know what, no, she's not a good prospect. She said, look at her body language. She said, you know, her head is down, ducking down, staring, looking, and that's also protective type posture. I had kind of noticed at a few select places when I would do public access training with her that she would press herself into me, which is a way of wanting to protect the owner. And I initially thought that was okay, but I learned it wasn't from her, and I'm kind of glad I learned it fairly early on, because we were able to just take her out of training and just make her a part of the family now. I'm not gonna lie, I had a very good cry when I realized that she was no longer a prospect. But I also didn't want to be too hard on myself, because this was something I had never tried doing before, and it was at the encouragement of another couple to just try training her and see what you can do. So yeah, I think that's about all the chit chatter I have for you for today. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with doing all of my cleaning and organizing. All right, I am starting out with the 6-drawer Alex unit that I have facing me with my regularly used items for my clients, and I'm just emptying out the first drawer. It's always dusty and dirty, so I like to vacuum it whenever I clean or rearrange. And I'm just going to put the shelf liner back in. And then I'm just going to start filling it back up with my essentials. I've got my cotton rounds that I pick up at Costco, my C&D Clear Performance Forms, my sanding bands. I've got 3 different types. The red ones are the Star Nail brand, the black ones are the LCN brand, and the zebra ones are the Medicool Pro bands. And I've got my little dust brush, my roll of fiberglass, some vet wrap, and my lash adhesive applicators that I use for my nail glue. And then these are my gel products that I've got. C&D Pure Pink, I've got a Pure White, an Ugly Duckling Clear Sculptor. I think I have like a gold shimmer in C&D and a clear as well. And then my refill of the Ugly Duckling Clear Sculptor and the Velveteen Acrogel. And my Crystal Katana for picking up all of my Swarovski crystals. My mat, and then my triangle trays, which I absolutely love. And then that's the funnel for putting your pixies back into their package. Then I'm just cleaning off my Ugly Duckling Crystal palette. I got that guy on clearance because it had a scratch on it, so I was all over that. And then my C&D Clear Acrylic Powder for doing texture nails. Then I'm just putting in all of my extra, almost like nail art type things. And if you recognize these dishes, these are actually for holding corn on the cob, but they work so good in my drawers that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to use them. I realized though that the way I wanted to put them in wasn't quite working, so I had to do some rearranging, which, you know what, that's just kind of my life. I like to rearrange things. Nothing ever stays the same for long. And then my e-file bits and the clips for removing shellac or soaking off gel polish. And then some soft white gel that I had left over from C&D and was taking up too much space, so I transferred it. And some universal white from Magic Gel. This is my second drawer, and in here I have an array of items. Mostly though, I have all of my custom mixed gels and some gels that were given to me. So I'm just gonna take all of these gels out one by one, just give them a dust off. They weren't too dirty because I had just cleaned them not long ago. And again, you can see how that shelf liner is just sliding around, which annoys me because then nothing stays in place. So I shook it out into the drawer, then I vacuumed, and I put it back in with some tape. So this isn't actual double stick tape. I just took a piece of tape and put it into a circle so that the sticky was on the outside, and it functions just as well. So then I put all of my custom mix gels in my drawer. And then I sorted them by brand because I have some that are Glitter Haven Australia mixes, and then I have others that are just glitters that I have found at craft stores and whatnot. And then I sorted them by alphabetical order, and then I put all of my other gels back in by alphabetical order as well. And then my paint shaker always gets stuck with the drawers, so I was testing to make sure the drawers would open with where I had put it, and they were. So then I tucked in my roll of paper towels again, and that is a wrist support that I don't really use. I probably should use it on my busier days. And then that is cuticle remover that, again, I barely ever use, but I know where it is if I want to use it. My Dappin' dish, safety glasses, my mask, my ear saver, and the safety strap for my safety glasses. And then that is an air freshener from Norwex. It contains charcoal, so it just absorbs all of the ickiness in that drawer. And then I have my chart of nail shapes and my list of the order of all of my Beamy Beauty Box gels so that I know where to look for a certain color. And then I threw out my other napkin I had happening there for my clear jelly stamping. I just keep it in there when I am doing my stamping, and then when it's full, I throw it out. So this next drawer is my YouTube drawer, and I've got all kinds of things in here. I have nail tips, I have the tippies, ugly duckling ones. The opera ones are short rounded, and then I have the almond in the tippies, and then I have the long square in opera as well. And then I've got my magnetic tip holders and just a bunch of little odds and ends in here. Those are my backgrounds I use for when I am filming and photographing. And then that is a pop socket that C&D gave me. And then the rest of this is really just cords and attachments and yeah, all those types of things that I might need for when I am filming. So again, a rinse and a repeat. Vacuum everything out and then put it back in and stick it down with some tape. And those are my spare phones I use for filming. And then I just have a bunch of phone mounts, tripods, all mini in size. Then those are just my charging cords for my Fitbit and all of my Apple products. And my headphones that I pretty much never use. And then paper can go back in now, as well as my selfie light for my cell phone and my ugly duckling tips and my opera tips. And then I had some tips that I had done some artwork on that were in my drawer. So I wanted to transfer them into this little container that I just have spare nail art on that I don't like really feel like I need to display it. So I just keep it just in case. And then I've got a file for smoothing out the ends of all the tips because they always have a little bit of plastic sticking off. And then my gloves that I use for doing nail art and stamping. Extra sticky tack, and that blue apparatus type thing is a nail tip clipper. And we are into my personal protective equipment drawer and Kleenex. So this didn't need too much work, it just more so needed reorganizing. I've got a couple of, like those ones right there, those masks are my favorite ones. They're pre-pandemic masks and they worked so well. These darker blue ones are some that I got from Creata. They are okay. And then these ones, I don't know if they're child ones, but they just don't fit my face and they give me migraines whenever I wear them. All right, so shake, and then that was stuck in the back, so I had to go and pry that out. And then do the usual vacuum. And then tape those bad boys down. And then time to refill the drawer. So I opened up that package of gloves and I put them side by side in the back of the drawer because they fit the best that way. Then my open box of gloves and my box of Kleenex. And then I've got my Band-Aids in there because you never know when someone needs one. And then I have the masks I don't like. So I put those all the way in the back. And then the ones from Creata. And I made a little bit of extra space. And then I put my favorite ones right in the back. And then just kind of made sure that everything was in proper position for the drawer to close, which it wasn't. So then I went and readjusted and fixed that. And my next drawer is my silicone hand drawer. I also keep my planners in there and my erasable pens and all of my planning essentials. And then I've got my silicone hand holder and then my other red iguana hand. Take that out, shake it off as usual. Vacuum, get rid of any kind of dust and sparkles that might be hanging around because, oh my god, glitter never goes away, you guys. I love glitter, but it's always there. And I'll just put the liner back down and tape it in place. Alright, so I'll put my red iguana hand back in the drawer and I'll put my other silicone hand towards the back because I really don't use it. And then my clamp for the hand, socks to take pictures with because they create beautiful cuffs. Then some planner items from earlier in the year that I don't want to part with. And then my two happy planners that I've got. And then my erasable pens and my whiteout. Then I put my sticky notes in this drawer. And then I tried putting my Fisker's cutting tool in there, but it just didn't have space. And I'm in my drawer of extras, so things that I just don't use every day are in here or that are literally like duplicate extras. So I'm just taking out all of this nail polish that I have. It's the Crackle Polish by OPI, and I've got some by LCN, and then I also have some magnetic polish. And those are all just empty flash drives and a couple of extra clear jelly stamper polishes. That is packaging for some reflective polish that I need to film a video on, extra glitter, and of course sheet protectors and laminating pouches. And then extra pieces of liner that I was like, I don't even know why these are here. And that was my old brush case that I used to use all the time, and I'm not ready to part with it because I might go back to it. And then those are extra dividers from my zebra train case. So I started taking out all of those shellacs because those are all duplicates. I had a whole bunch of shellac that was given to me by a friend of mine, so they're not full. When I put them in the drawer, I put them in so that it was the back of the bottle facing up. That way I could tell the difference between what was new and what was partially used. Then I've got a couple empty polish bottles that I just threw into there as well. Then my mask and my goggles got back, just into a different spot. And you guys know the drill here. So when I filled this drawer back up, I just kind of did it completely different. And that cord I put in there is for my e-file. It's a duplicate cord that I've got. Those are extra decals and attachments for my crystal katana. That's all the extra glitter. That is my extra clear jelly stamper polishes. All my empty flash drives that I really should find a home for. And those black, I don't even know what to call them, but they go with my computer desk, and I don't. And then I put my Fiskars trimmer in there to where it would fit. And then my rolling brush case. And then the sheet protectors and laminating pouches. And that is it for that drawer unit. Then I'm just going to clean the top of my desk. I did clean my whole entire desk, but I didn't have the camera recording, so you guys like missed the whole other part of the desk. I was just like, crap, you'd think I know by now to make sure my camera is actually filming when I am doing something, but oh well. Then I cleared everything off on my Alex drawer unit that was under the table, and I just gave it all a quick wipe down. It gets so dusty under there, just because it's also within proximity of where I'm working and where my Valentino vent is. So I just try to really keep that clean as much as I can. And then I'll just clean the part of it that I couldn't reach from inside my desk. And I don't move my power unit too often. I have a battery backup unit. It's just really heavy, so I just basically dust the part that is visible to the public. And then I'll just do the top of my other Alex drawer unit. This is the 5 drawer unit that carries all of my extra items or overstock. And the top drawer is my wipes drawer. So I just kind of vacuumed those real quick and then just vacuumed into the drawer. I don't have a liner in this drawer because I really don't feel like it warrants one. It's just the same item, so it's good. So if you missed it earlier, these cotton rounds are from Costco and they are nearly 100% lint free. They are very good for doing nails. This next drawer is my personal wax drawer and my scrub brushes for my clients. I am not licensed to wax anyone, but that's just my personal supply. So once I had that all cleaned out, I trimmed and measured all of the pieces that I had left over to make everything fit very nicely in the drawer. So I've got the collars in, the muslin, all of my wax going back in. my wax heads, waxing sticks, and then these are all of my scrub brushes. I've had these for years. They stand up so well when a client is no longer coming. Once I get enough brushes, I basically machine wash them, and then I give them a soak in the hospital grade disinfectant I have just to kill any remaining germs. I let them air dry, give them a rinse, air dry again, and then they go in my drawer. So they literally last forever. This next drawer is kind of like my overstock drawer of files, cuticle sticks, buffers, and whatnot. And oh yeah, and I have extra flip-flops in there, like disposable ones. So once I had that all cleaned out, I trimmed and measured all of the pieces that I had left over to make everything fit. And I put the flip-flops back in, and then my cuticle sticks. I bought those when I first opened. They were a ridiculously cheap price, and I have so many left. Those are foot file attachments and files for ingrown toenails and a nail clipper. That is my paraffin wrap dispenser, which I need to find more of because they are discontinued here. And then extra files, buffers, and Credo blades. I got all those Credo blades for like $7. There's 10 in a pack. It's crazy. All right, and then in this next drawer, I have mainly filters for my Valentino vent. And then these are all of my used gift certificates and to-be claimed gift certificates. There's also photos there. Then just some spare parts from UV lamps and light I used to use for my table. An extra chalkboard label. The larger ones are for my flush mount vent that I have at my nail table. These filters right here are the ones that I use for doing pedicures. And attachments for the 2 directing chairs I have. And then I've got extra batteries, a mortar and pestle for mixing colors. This, I'm just going to kind of call it my drawer of crap because it's just like things that I really, really don't use, but I don't want to throw away. So that is a bolster wrist rest, which I really don't use. Those are attachments for my Michaels organizer I have on my nail table. I always move things around, so inserts like that I do not ever throw away. And then ink for my printer. And the curly Q ribbons are for when I put up gift baskets for Movember or for Paramedics with Heart. If they do a fundraiser, I'll put something together, and I usually try and use those 2 colors for the ribbons. Just like thumbtacks, my camera, old camera, and camera case. My push pins, my empty Beats storage container, a little speaker, my OtterBox. I switched back and forth from the holder I have now to the one that's in that drawer. And then I moved over to the, oh my god, I forgot what this was called. Anyways, it's the shelf above our fireplace, and that Galileo thermometer met its death shortly after I took it off. I knocked it over, and oh, that was a mess to clean up. Oh my gosh, you guys. So yeah, you can really see how badly of a dusting job. Oh, mantle, there we go. That's how bad of a dusting job the mantle needed, because you could literally see where everything was when you took it off. And here we are at my vanity area where I get ready most mornings. So just emptying it off as usual. Dusting things as I take them off, because for me, that's the easiest. And then I put everything back on. That's my Tiffany polishing cloth, a Morphe makeup palette, all of my lipsticks, my Blistex, Huggies baby wipes, my face primer, finishing setting spray, foundations, tone correcting powder, my kabuki brush. And then this giant thing holds all of my hair stuff. So my flattener, my rollers, like literally everything is in there that I need for doing my hair. It's fantastic. All right, I think that is pretty much everything for all the cleaning I had to do. And that's a picture of Louise that was taken at Christmas time at doggy daycare, so I added it to my wall of photos. There is my nail table, all ready to go. And that's the other side. And then the fireplace mantle. All right, well, thanks for joining me today and watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. That will be notified every time I post a video. Bye!